All right, so this tutorial, we're going to create a structure like this. It'll be a folded mesh that is derived using crane. So we're going to take flat lines and then fold them into this shape. So we'll start with a new script. So create a new file in Grasshopper. What we're going to do is start out in Rhino. So I'm going to close Grasshopper for a second, go into top view. Double click on that. And I'm going to create a square. I'm just going to type rectangle, enter. And if you click anywhere and hold shift, it'll keep it square. And then click. And then from there, I'm going to explode these lines. So select it, type explode. Now each one is independent. And then you're going to draw an X through it. So type line, enter, go from one corner to the other. And if it's not snapping, make sure your object snaps are turned on. I like to have all of these turned on. So you could type I think OSnap. Yeah, if you type OSnap, it'll let you toggle any of those on. Okay, so I've created a diagonal. I'm going to type line again, or hit spacebar or enter to repeat the command. And then grab the other corners as well. Okay, so I've created a square with an X through it. And I'm going to divide it the other way as well. So I've gone this way. I'm going to divide it, basically put a cross through this. So I'm going to type line or hit spacebar. Grab the middle of the top, go all the way down to the bottom. Same thing with the sides. And the other thing we're going to have to do is split these. So right now, if I click on this edge, it's one line. I want that to be two. So I want to use this to split those two. So I'm going to select the splitting object. So select that horizontal line. Type split, enter. And then click on the curve and hit enter. Oh, sorry, it's the other way around. So I'm going to click on this, type split, click on the middle line, enter, and now these are two separate curves. Select that, split. So do it on all four sides so that you have. Yeah. So select this, type split. Okay, and then do the same thing for these inner curves as well. So we want all of these split. So I'm going to select the horizontal, hit enter to repeat the last command or spacebar. Then click on the vertical, spacebar. Do the same thing the other way. So these are all independent curves. And then do the same thing for the X too. So select one, hit spacebar to repeat the command, select the cutting object, enter. Okay, so you should have individual curves. And this is an important step in this process so that each of these is treated as its own edge rather than kind of forcing everything to be linear. Okay, so I have a square with an X through it and a cross through it, and each of these is its own individual line. Now the next step is to create a line, because I want to have kind of a pop out at the ends here. So I'm going to create a line from the middle of this curve to the middle of this curve. So line, grab the midpoint to midpoint, midpoint to midpoint, and then do that all the way around. So this is what it should look like. All right, so once that's been drawn, we're gonna open up Grasshopper. I'm also gonna go into 3D view. So double click on perspective, type Grasshopper, and I wanna bring these curves into Grasshopper. So under the params tab at the top left, I can find the curve component. Click on that, drop it onto the canvas. I can also double click on the canvas and just type CRV, and it's this black one. But I want to associate all of these curves with this component. So I'm going to right click on the component, set multiple curves, and then select all of those at once. Hit enter. So our goal here is to create a mesh that has basically mesh faces for each of these subdivisions of the square that we created. So what we're going to do is create a bounding box to generate basically a surface from this, or a poly surface. This is a tip that I saw from Parametric House, so shout out to them. It's a website. You can get tutorials on Grasshopper information. So we're going to use the bounding box. So double click and type bounding box. It's this one. And what a bounding box does is it creates a bounding box around any geometry you give it. So if you give it a sphere, it'll create a bounding box around the extents of that geometry. We're giving it a 2D plane, so it'll create a bounding box that's two-dimensional. But in this case, it'll start with a series of boxes. We want this to be one object. So you're going to right-click on where it says per object, set that to union box, and then it's asking for geometry to contain, so that'll be all of our curves. We're going to plug those in. And we're going to want to split this surface that was created with all of these curves. So I'm going to use the split surface. So if you type split SRF or surface split. All right, so the surface we're going to get is this top box. This is a flat box. We're going to plug that into the surface. So plug that into the S. And then it's asking for curves that it's going to use to split that surface. So we're going to plug in our curves. So we're splitting the surface. If I were to bake this, we have now individual surfaces based on those curves we created. So the next thing I want to do is join all of these together. So I'm going to double click and do brep, join, brep, join. And I'm going to connect my split surfaces to that. So now if I were to bake this, this basically just joins all of them together into what would be a poly surface. Okay. So we have a poly surface. And from there, we want to create a simple mesh. So if you double click and just type simple mesh, it's this orange one. If you go to the mesh tab here under utilities, you'll see simple mesh. Okay, so we have our simple mesh. From there, we're going to want to weld it together. So right now it's a simple mesh. We want all of these meshes to kind of be joined in a really clean way. So we're going to double click, and if you type weld, you'll see weld mesh come up. We're going to plug that in to M. And now when you bake this, you'll see we do have a clean mesh that is easy to work with, and that's what we're looking for. And from there, we're going to start getting into our crane components. Okay, so this is what we have so far. When you go to the top here, you'll find the crane tab. We're going to drop in the solver. Move that over. And we'll just go down our list of everything we need here. So it needs a C mesh or a crane mesh. For that, we're going to use the input crane mesh VT line. We'll do crane mesh V lines. So MV, so mountains and valleys. I'm going to plug that in, crane mesh to crane mesh. And we want to set the fold speed and rigidity. I'm going to set the fold speed to 0.2. So I'm going to double click and just type 0.2. I'm going to set the rigidity to 0.1. So double click and type 0.1, giving us sliders with those values. And remember, we want to turn these three on. So solver on, rigid mode, quad flat on. And the crane mesh is going to need a mesh, so we're going to plug in our welded mesh to that. Everything turns gray, meaning it's getting information. And it's going to ask for curves that it's going to use as the mountains and curves that it'll use as the valleys. So double click on CRV. Double click CRV, use this black one. So drop in two curves here. and then plug in one of them to the M, one of them to the V. So this is what we have so far. And now the challenge is understanding how we want this to fold. So anything that we want to be a mountain, basically anything that's going to fold like that, we want to go into the M. Anything that's going to fold like that as a valley, we want to go into the V. Okay, so look at the geometry you have and try to understand what you want to be a mountain. So these corners are going to be mountains. So all of these curves, I'm going to hold shift and select all of these. Those are going to be the kind of peak or the mountain. These curves as well are going to be mountains, and we may need to edit this later. So I'm going to set these to be mountains. So with those selected, just the ones that I want to be the peak, I'm going to select this component, right click it, set multiple curves. So now all of these curves are associated with the mountain. In the valleys, I want to use all of these curves. So I'm going to hold shift and just work my way around, selecting all of these. And then right click on the valley component, or the curve component for valley, and say set multiple curves. All right, so now that we have our curves associated with these two components, I'm gonna preview it. So I'm gonna use the crane preview mesh, plug that in. So this will give you a preview of the folded mesh. And I'm going to hide all of this. So I'm going to select everything up until that point, up until the last one. Select it, right click, preview off. So now it's all hidden. All right, so once you've plugged in the preview, and we selected everything, because I want to hide all of this. So I select it, right click, preview off. Now if we, with all three of these on, I hit reset. I can hit fold. If I hold down fold, it'll start folding the way I've designed it. Some things may be kind of asymmetrical. You'll notice the folding isn't happening uniformly. So I think there'll need to be some testing here, and maybe some play with the curvature, maybe add some constraints. So remember, we can constrain this by using components like on plane, right? We can add that constraint here. We can input the C mesh that we want to be constrained, input the vertices of all the points that we want it to constrain. So maybe the base points all get constrained. But this is a basic definition to get started with this type of folding. If you're interested in experimenting with a geometry that isn't a rectangle, you can use the boundary surface component instead. So with a triangle, for example, the bounding box creates a geometry that doesn't work, so we're going to use a boundary surface instead to plug in and use that to create our folding geometry.